Okay, so it's been a half an hour. Our material is fully catalyzed now, so we can go ahead and start the application process. This is the area that we're going to do. You can see that it has already been masked off with masking tape or duct tape that we've used in this scenario. Reason why it's important to mask the area is this product, even though it's clear, will discolor the concrete. It will darken the concrete. So you want to make sure that you put it only where you want to put it, because if you don't top coat it, you'll still see that it was there. We've got our bucket of material, and I've also got a roller pan with a solvent resistant tray in it. You can work out of the bucket if you like. I prefer to work out of a solvent resistant tray. So I just want to reiterate one more time, do not skip the priming step on bare concrete. Very, very important that you do prime and seal the concrete. The reason for it is when you're applying StreetBond 120 or StreetBond 150 on top of concrete, the product is too high of a viscosity to penetrate into the substrate. It will only lay on top, and there will be areas that will not adhere properly, and that's where you're going to have a weakness in the coating and you're going to have adhesion problems. By priming and sealing the concrete, you will eliminate the possibility of that happening, and you'll have a much more successful application. So we're going to pour some of the material into the tray, and we're going to start rolling it out. I've just got a regular old 3/8 inch nap roller here, an extension pole, and that's all we need. I've got my PPE, I'm good to go. So we have our fully catalyzed material. We're going to pour some of it into the tray. Again, being very careful because anything that it gets on will be discolored. Going to load up the roller. You can see this is extremely low viscosity. It's going to drip. So you don't want to go crazy. You don't want to overload the roller. And you want to make sure your roller tray is close to where you're going to be applying it so that you don't have drips. You want to apply this in as thin a coating as you can, because not only will it dry more quickly, but what you really want to avoid here is product pooling inside the expansion joints or any of the cracks. What's going to happen there is that it will never really dry completely, and you'll end up having a mushy area that the top coat might not fully adhere to. So just keep it nice and thin. Don't overload your roller. Pooling might happen. Very, very easy to fix that. You can just have someone on your crew take a brush and go in there and just brush the product out of the cracks. Any area where you don't see a difference in color is a potential spot where you could have a weak adhesion of the top coat. So what I'm rolling over right now, I want to make sure that is completely covered. So what you've seen up to this point when we're working with MMA and we're working with StreetBond 120 and 150 is we generally tend to dump the product out of the bucket onto the substrate and either roll it or squeegee it. We're not doing that here. And the reason why is that this product really has a very, very low viscosity. So if we were to dump it out, we wouldn't have any control over where it goes. We wouldn't really be able to effectively squeegee it or roll it, and the product would end up just penetrating very deeply into this one area, and we'd lose a lot of it inside the substrate. So by working out of a roller tray or working directly out of the bucket, you will have a lot more control over where this product goes. Okay, so we have applied our QS primer. We put it down in a nice thin coat. It's completely covered. Looks like it's beginning the drying process right now, so we have to wait for a little while for the drying process to continue. It's a pretty sunny day here, it's not too hot, and it is windy. So we usually say that within 1 to 2 hours you can apply your top coat, but what you're going to want to do is monitor that, especially if it's humid and very, very warm. You want to just make sure that there is a slight tacky feeling to the material. It's not going to be completely dry. It will be tacky, that's okay, but it shouldn't be wet. When you're using the QS primer as well, we recommend that you apply the primer and the top coat within the same day. The reason for this is because if the QS primer is left overnight, it will still be tacky, so there may be debris, dust, leaves, things like that that could fall into the tacky material and get stuck there, which would result in a little bit of extra prep work for you before you begin the top coat. So we always recommend that you plan your day out accordingly. You probably want to apply the QS primer earlier in the day, give it an opportunity to dry so that you can at least get one top coat of StreetBond 120 or 150 on top of it. So we will test this in a little while. We're going to give it an opportunity to dry, and then we can begin our top coat.